shock. Look at this. That is what the last session we covered. The song Gita is a song of love and wisdom. When the wisdom is there, the love flows. When the love is there, the wisdom goes with it, and there is no doubt, there is no pain points, there is no problem, there is no challenges at all. And that is what Krishna is going to teach to us in the next couple of verses, maybe until 45 verses from this chapter, that you see from a different perspective. I was talking early in the morning session. I was talking that you sleep with the stress and a problem, you wake up with the same stress and the problem. You sleep in a meditative state, you wake up in a meditative state. So now this is a metaphor. So understand that clearly. I will explain it simply. I have to take a flight, or just take an example. I have to buy a car tomorrow in the morning. Okay, tomorrow morning I will go to this dealer and buy. So now
Not
that
you. It'll be a lot of visits. No, I'm just kidding. When you buy a car, it's not just the shit. Go buy it.
you go,
Go
yeah,
ahead.
we go by it. But yeah, I will go it tomorrow. I plan it. So my memories, I have what we say meditation or japa or a repetition of the mantra that we do consciously in meditation. We have a subconscious repetition of pleasure seeking by buying a car. It continues into the mind. Then I sleep. Now, when I wake up in the morning, the first thought that comes to me is to have buying a car. I will go by this time and then I will have it, or I will, whatever I do it. What we miss. First, I am consciousness. Then, this consciousness identifies with the mind and the body, and after identification, the same desire of buying the car enters into my mind. I miss that gap. I'm consciousness first. No, I simply jump into a waking state with the past impression, and ultimately that causes lot of challenges in our life.
Is this a metaphor for when we die?
Not
How
yes, we
our
not
next life is kind of if we go to we die in unawareness.
that is one aspect. Now expand this metaphor. Or my waking state with identification with the body and the mind continues every time I wake up. Why? Because I claim that, what I claim? I claim that the waking world is the real world. I'm summarizing and then we will go into all the verses. That will make it clear. Oh, okay. So,
Oh, just so I know, what verses are we on? I'm not sure where we left off in the last one.
yeah, the
Or,
song of love in the wisdom, and then we picked up, we briefed and summarized the verse number 33 to 36. So we will go to 37 to 45. All those challenges were explained. You have to pay attention. So, what I said, the way I enter into sleep, just before the sleep, the thought, feeling, emotions, ideas, memories, pain, stress. If I have before the sleep, I wake up more or less as a reminder of the same thing. What about if I sleep If I meditate before the sleep, I have a meditative state. What is that meditative state? It transcends the body mind. Now I wake up in the morning, so I have a gap. I can recognize I'm consciousness. I'm not the body and the mind. At the second level, I get identified, association, not identified. I associate to live in the transactional world. So even if there is a problem, I can solve this problem in the state of the calmness because I am not identified. But now understand this problem of identification also. That is where the Arjuna has raised the question from until 36 verse, and then we have lot of challenges are explained beautifully. Now see that I just gave a session based on only uh, one one statement made by a woman from Missouri. Uh, she is a professor. She said, I had a bad dream. I woke up in the morning. My mind reminded it, and I brushed it aside. And then I said, I'm happy. It was a weird dream. I said, you did wonderful job. Now question is, because you realize your intellect knows it fully, the dream world is a fake world. It is false. So you brushed aside. You don't recognize this waking world of change is also the false. You cannot brush it aside. And that is why you have a problem. So what happens? I had a problem in the waking state of the business before sleep. I have the same problem after the sleep. I sleep as a man. I also wake up as a man. You know how the past impressions repeats itself. So where is the challenge? The challenge is that if I recognize in the waking world that I am not the body and the mind, there is no problem of speech. You continue, it's a transactional world, I'm talking, I'll play my role. Once I finish my role, it is done. But it does not happen. And if it does not happen, why it does not happen? Because I miss that point where I declared and brushed aside the dream world is false. Similarly, the waking world is also the false. It doesn't mean that I should not use the body and the mind, but there is an awareness that I'm not the body and the mind. So now see what happens when I'm not body and the mind. That is what is explained in the from the chapter number 1 to 6. How can you say that? So I'm not the body and the mind. So if I'm not the body and the mind, then I'm not the doer and the enjoyer. So when I'm not the doer, means doer of what? I have certain desires. That's why I have to complete that. I have to act to fulfill that desire. So that is a desire prompted action. So I have millions of the thoughts which are unfulfilled and some of the thoughts which are fulfilled. So I have to continue to work. I have to continue to act. So I give a tag to myself that I'm the doer and the enjoyer. But the fact is, it is the body and the mind, intellects and the sense organs. They are doing everything. I'm not the doer. But I have a false sense of association that I'm the doer. Compare it with, can you say to the tiger, you caught this deer and you killed it. You are a sinner. Tiger says, it is natural to me. I'm living in a moment. I'm
No
living in a
karma for
moment.
him, huh?
But there is no doership. Here there is a doership, then we have a sinner, we become a sinner, we have challenges, we have pain points, we have problems, we have sufferings. Where? Inside me, not outside. The world will continue to live in the same way. World continues in the same way. I'm 66, this is 66 years old machine. After a few years, it will fall down. But when it falls down, what is going to happen? Again, it will go into potential. When the tree falls down, it becomes the seed. In future chapters, this example of a tree will come in the Gita. So the tree falls down, potential. So there are two things: manifest, unmanifest. Seed is unmanifest tree. Tree is manifest seed. Waking state, we carry forward all the impressions. In sleep, we are almost like in a deepest meditative state. That is our chapter number 6, but we are not conscious of it. We are not conscious of that meditative state. Can you see that? Can you see? No, no. Yeah.
So is the master who's beyond consciousness
Yes.
experience deep sleep in awareness, right?
Yes.
Because I
Yes.
feel like
In
okay.
awakened state, you don't identify with the sleep, you don't identify with the waking state, you don't identify with the dream state. They remain as three waves on an ocean. You are an ocean. One wave is waking, other wave is sleep, third wave is dream, and again waking state. And so ripples of these waves continue. I am of the nature of. How it is possible? Can I drop this memory, thoughts, and repetition and see? And then I said one thing more, which appealed to the entire group. Doer and the enjoyer comes with an intention. That intention is programmed in all the animals. Tiger, you are a sinner. Tiger says, what you are talking about, I don't understand. But if you kill someone and I say you are a sinner, oh no, he has done this, that's why I killed him. So I owed the responsibility of a doer and the enjoyer or the feeler, and there comes all the impressions. That impression is known as the causal body. That causal body triggers into the subtle body, that is the mind, intellect, and I thought, and the doer. And the doer is translated by the sense organ in the body. And then I become the sinner. I have a problem. Animals live in a moment, they don't have any problem. But in deep sleep, there is no time, there is no place, there is no object, there is no sinner, there is no doer, there is no enjoyer, only the drawback that I'm totally unconscious, I'm not aware, hence I cannot live in the same state when I return to the waking state. The waking state previously repeats itself. That is the meaning. The impressions are being repeated. All the past impressions are being repeated. Orange tree will always bear the orange fruit. It will not give you the mango. What it means? In a waking state, the way I think and live and perceive the world, it will be repeated directly or indirectly with all those pain and problem points. But if I sleep in meditation, I will definitely wake up in the meditation.
I was thinking, is it a window? Is sleep an opportunity? Right. I was thinking if I could just stay aware into deep sleep, then I could know a lot of things, right? It would
Yes,
be,
yes, yes.
but no matter how much I try, and then sometimes I feel like maybe I was asleep and aware at the same time, but it's hard to know, right? It could be just this trance state or something. But
We can
night
reduce
I
the
try to go into that
we we can
in awareness.
we can reduce the hours of the sleep. But like the sleep, like the aging of this physical body coming from the nature. I cannot change it. I cannot change it. So I should not work on changing the nature. That is one thing. But what happens if can you reduce the hours of the sleep? Go to the science. Science says that if you are sleeping 9 hours, two third of the time is the what we say the REM sleep. It means it is more or less the dream. Only the one third of the time you sleep deeply. You are totally unconscious in the presence of the consciousness deeper inside. Means what? The mind and the body has stopped as total dissociation. So it means we should not work and try to force not to sleep, but we should change the quality. How to change the
Uh,
quality? Before sleeping, you should be into the state of meditation so that when you wake up in the meditation. You
I
wake up.
imagine being in duality too all day long, right? In conflict and duality is probably a lot of energy used, right? So if we can get out of that, right, we'd probably need less sleep as well because we would
Yes,
be.
perfectly right. You have a right reasoning. You see that. That is what I have been saying almost for last 30 or 35 years of my teaching, so that you change the quality of the state of the mind and the body before going to sleep. So, what is going to happen? Gradually and progressively, you will de identify with the body and the mind. That moment of your waking state before you become the waker. You waker means body mind association. Before you become the waker, you can recognize the pure consciousness which has nothing to do with the body and the mind, and then your perception through the senses and the mind returns all the old habits and the impressions. Once we recognize that I'm already dissociated, finished. What to do for that? Liberate principle is one of the most important principle. Liberate, live in the truth. So what happens in the morning? Before you become the waker. Waker means body, mind, all the three bodies. All the three bodies. I was saying again, I'm remembering the same thing, but that will appeal you. When you sleep naked, you wake up naked. There is no other possibility. So here the word naked I'm using as a metaphor. You sleep naked means you undress yourself with the three bodies. So when you wake up, you will also wake up with the undressed. You are a pure consciousness, you are the real self. Because of lot of different associations at the subtler level, at the gross level, we wake up with lot of the thoughts. Today I have to do this. Today, oh, I became the doer. So go back to ask the tiger, are you the doer? No. I saw my food, the deer. That's all. Then who motivated you to kill? I don't know. Tiger says I don't know. I say I know it. So when I say I know, it means I am the doer, I am the enjoyer, I am the sinner, and long list. That is where the karma yoga comes. Do you see? Everything is happening in the karma yoga is 90% in the mind, intellect. 10%
Mhm.
it is outward. 10% it is outward. So liberate principle that now you see, I remember, I live in real self, and then I find the doer and the enjoyer has come. So I investigate my false self, that is I break free from the association. This is what I said, undressed. I slept undressed. How come I feel that I'm dressed? Come on. What is the point before it? Before being the waker, I am pure consciousness. So I break free from the attachment, that is B, eradicate. So I remove the delusion, eradicate the delusion, and then I realize that there is an inner calm and the poise with me. When in spite of lot of challenges in the world outside, I have personal challenges, professional challenges, physical challenges, but still I am settled into that state of the calm and the joy. Oh, why? Because I have a glimpse of that real self. And if I continue, the word A means awaken to the true nature. And when I awaken to the true nature, then only I can transcend the limitations. Then only I can transcend. Why we use the word trans? I know that neighbor's house is not mine. Finished. I'm awakened. I'm awakened that this is my house, that is the neighbor's house. So now I can transcend the limitations. What is that limitation? That neighbor's house is also me. That this body, mind, intellect is also me. No, no, forget about it. Then what happens? I embody the freedom. The last word in the T, E, liberate. And when I embody the freedom, that is the moment I recognize also that I'm neither the waker nor the dreamer, neither nor the sleeper. The way I brushed aside the dream state, while living in the waking state, I brush aside that waker also. It's a direct realization. It's a That is what we say the choiceless awareness. That is what we say live in a moment. There's a direct understanding. There's a direct awareness. It is not indirect. What I said indirect, I am seeing you indirectly. How? My mind processes the information received through my eyes. Memory says, oh, this posture, this shape, and the size is Eric, so you are Eric. But now there is a direct realization. So, what I said, even for 1 minute, even for only 1 minute, again I'm stressing, even for only 1 minute, you drop all the intentions in the intellect and the mind and the sense organs. What is that? What you drop? Intention. What is that intention? Your intention is that I'm not taking any work from sense organs, motor organs, mind, and intellect. What is that state? That state is already there. You don't have any intention of. But does it mean that when your eyes are open you don't see? It is seen. You are not a seer. But what about my sensation of cold and the heat? They are seen, they are experienced, minus experiencer. You don't have any intention, so you are not the doer. But whatever is happening, let it happen. Ah, what is that state? You have already embodied the freedom. You have already transcended the limitations of the body and the mind. You have already awakened to the real self. Just for a fraction, even for a fraction of a moment, we can experience there is no intention. But before the intention, there has to be a doer. And before the doer, I have to be a waker. But before the waker, I should know who is the waker. It comes from before sleep. That is how we live our waking life with all the problems, dualities, conflicts. Arjuna raises this question. He understands this. He says, this is too difficult. This is a big challenge. In the 33rd verse, Arjuna says, expresses difficulty in controlling the restless mind. So we have already solved it. I'm not saying you have to control it. You have to understand. So I gave the summary of what Krishna is going to say after. So Krishna says with the discipline and dispassion, because we are only in the 6th chapter, we have to complete the 18th chapter. So the higher principles will come later. So Krishna answers with the lower principles. No? Follow the self-discipline and dispassion. Practice with the dispassion will help you take over the mind. You said you cannot control the mind. No, you can control the mind. It is not impossible having a self-discipline and dispassion. And if you continue the practice with knowledge, with understanding, dispassion comes by discernment. And discernment demands knowledge. So discernment demands that once you have a knowledge, so you are able to separate it from, you are separating it from the false. Now I have a craving for pasta. Oh, I have. Oh, I will give you the pasta, but let me know who is this I, who is a craver. It is a thought. All the thought are processed by the intellect. Are you your intellect? No, I am not my intellect. I need not to control it. I have left the craver, that is only a false I, which is created by an I thought. So pasta is also gone. Craving is also gone. That level of awareness we are going to discuss in the future chapter. But here, Krishna says, no, please follow the self-discipline, discernment, and dispassion is what you need to do it. But
I made a note. I said we control the mind by getting out of it, right?
yeah.
Like I think if you're in the middle among thinking you are the mind, trying to calm it, what are you gonna do? But it's just that immediate and it drops. It seems to, anyways. The minute you look a little into it, there's nothing there, right? It seems.
You step back, step back, step back. When you step back, you are aware that, oh, there's doer is causing the problem, but as such, there is no doer. Tiger catches the prey. Why you are a sinner? What? There is no sin at all. I never think of it. So, but Arjuna is still guided by the same ignorance in the 34th verse, and you say the mind is. One thing you should agree, master, the mind is restless. So think that from which perspective the Arjuna is thinking. Mind is restless, turbulent, obstinate, and very strong. Oh, my master Krishna, to subdue it, I think, is more difficult than controlling the wind. So he is also giving a metaphor. So he is still guided by the same level of ignorance. I stepped the higher principles before to help you understand. So Arjuna compares the difficulty of controlling the mind to that of controlling the wind, emphasizing how the mind's powerful and obstinate nature, and I already gave an answer, for 1 minute. You don't have any intention through your sense organs, through your motor organs, through your mind, through your intellect. There is no doer and enjoyer. You are free. But here the Krishna says, no, self-discipline. Self-discipline. Continue. It means that he is still progressing. He has not reached to that state. He has yet to reach to that state. So that is why That is why, the teachings of Gita is so important. Then Krishna in the 36th verse, now he is saying importance of self-control. He goes within. Beauty of the Krishna is that he comes down to the level of the Arjuna. He comes down to the level of his seeker. He is not saying that, oh, what a crazy thing that you are saying. Forget about it. You are not at all attached. How can the matter and consciousness be attached? Fact is, it is fact. But it will give more confusion. So Master says, no, importance of self-control. That is the beginning. That is how we progress. It means we should not leave the self-discipline. We should not leave the practice. One whose mind is unbridled, self-realization is difficult. But for one whose mind is controlled and who strives by appropriate means. What is the appropriate means? Self-discipline, regular practice, regular listening and learning, regular contemplation and reflection. Picking up one mantra, don't leave that mantra until we reach to the higher state. Om Namah Shivaya. We have done it. But now comes the verse number 37 to 45. Arjuna is still uh, playing, or I would say the impurity of the mind or the false I is still playing in his mind. It means, who is Arjuna? I and you. We all are Arjuna. So let us be more objective. I'm still playing with those challenges which is passing into my mind. Don't you know? I told you that yesterday I slept and I woke up with the stress because you slept in stress, consciously or subconsciously, that you don't remember. No, I don't understand. I have to get rid of the stress, even though I am relaxed. So the master, Arjuna, we all are Arjuna. So what is that? There is a fear of failure. The reassurance is not working. Master says, remember, no effort is ever wasted in this journey. Have you been doing Om Namah Shivaya meditation? How many years? 5 years. It has already left your mind blank during that period, so no effort is wasted. The importance of self discipline, discernment, and dispassion, it cannot be ignored. You are sowing the seed by regular practice, and it indicates the journey. That is what in the 36th verse Master says. We will go through it and then we will go into detail. 37, Arjuna, again, we are saying, what we are saying, O Krishna, what is the destination of the unsuccessful seeker who begins with a lot of fanfare and the faith, but then deviates from the path of the self-discovery, failing to achieve perfection? What is going to happen to those people? You see, Arjuna is asking the question. We have the same fear. What will happen? I didn't earn $1 million. I earned only $100,000 because I had to spend a lot of time in practice of meditation and etc. What will happen to me? I'm translating his question into a very more practical. The amount of the time you will spend in your stress earning $1 million is minimized, and you are left with $100,000, that is 10 times more. then you're $1 million. Tell me. If it is not, I'm relaxed and calm. And, well, I'm living my life. I'm just making a different way to help American mind. I have to understand that American. I don't know. Meditation is a waste. So this is what the Krishna is. As a seeker, I'm asking, oh Krishna, what is the destination of an unsuccessful yogi or a seeker? Come on, are you not experiencing peace and calm? Yes, I'm experiencing peace and calm in certain areas, but not in other areas. So, where you are experiencing calm and peace in the areas which is helping you to dilute and dissolve the stress in other areas also, because you have now going to be in a right perception. Is it not? I am relaxed, and your honey says that you are crazy. You still remain relaxed. It is a progress. Otherwise, you live your life in stress, in duality, in a conflict, and then you tell honey, how dare you say, get lost. Let me divorce you. I have already lot of problem. You are giving me lot of challenges. So are you benefiting, or are you thinking in terms of $10 million or $100,000? Don't think in that way.
This reminds me when I took a break from our practices teachings for a few years, right? But they would always haunt me, and like every activity, everything was always your voice or something
You
you
can
said was
easily
always
compare
there, right?
your
It always
two.
so the time was never wasted for sure. It was always there, nagging at me to give back.
Yes, yes, yes. You have a practical experience of that.
Hmm. I do.
Even sincere seekers may face setbacks and temporary failures. It is possible. It is natural to be concerned about the consequences of incomplete journey. You have raised that question a couple of times. So we now, as an Arjuna, we are a seeker. We have raised this question. Arjuna continues to ask that if he fails, does he not perish like a riven cloud? That is what Master is. Arjuna is raising the doubt about this journey of the self-discovery in 38 verse. O mighty arm Krishna. Now he is praising and appreciating. I know you are the greatest teacher. You are the reincarnate. You are the God. But I'm asking you, my doubt, fallen from both the path, having no support and confused on the path of self realization. He says, I didn't get anything material, now I'm not getting anything spiritual. What should I do? So he's raising the highest doubt. The beauty of the Gita, that is the beauty of the Gita. You'll find the answers of all your questions. Even if you have doubt, keep that doubt in your mind. Does he not perish like a riven cloud has come? I get some peace and happiness, and the cloud has disappeared. The same way I will perish. I have not achieved anything. I am not called the richest guy in the world. For example, I did not have that level of reputation. I did not gain 50,000 followers on my Facebook. I have deleted Facebook account completely. I said, get no way. So, what is the message here? As a seeker, I'm giving the message to the teacher. I have a fear of losing progress on both at the material level and also at the spiritual level. So, I'm worth nothing. What should I do? The importance of
It's a
having
good
proper
start.
guidance and support. So, now, and Krishna is the teacher who is going to help us to what is the answer of this question. What does It represents a state of total confusion and apparent purposelessness of someone who has left the conventional path but hasn't fully established themselves on the spiritual path. I still have to recognize you have been talking about the real self, but what exactly, where it is, I have done lots, so many practices. O Krishna, he further continues in the 39th verse. You look at the, then Master will answer, O Krishna, O my Master, this is my doubt, and I ask you to dispel it completely. That is the goal of a seeker. Goal of a non-seeker is that he hears and he raises the doubt and he drops the journey. That is the difference between a seeker and a non-seeker. You drop the journey. There is nothing. But as a seeker, you have been talking logically, putting all the doubts to an end. You have to dispel this doubt completely, for none other than you can possibly destroy this doubt. But why Arjuna is saying that? Arjuna's mind is very clear that Krishna is proving for me that sum of angles of a triangle is 180 degree. I know it, but I am not able to prove it. So I have to process certain more information so that my doubts are gone. Otherwise, I will hang in imbalance. Then I will find out, what I will find out? The sum of angles of a triangle is 160 degree or 190 degree. That is the job of a non-seeker. I'm making it in a very metaphorically clear to you. O Krishna, O my Master, this is my doubt, and I ask you to dispel it completely. Then he also says, for none other than you. Here the word you is the knowledge. Krishna is a guru. Guru is in knowledge. In one way, Guru is a knowledge, but here we find the Krishna in the human form. So I can address my problems through the mind to him. That is how the Gita was written. In the form of a dialogue. Oh my goodness! Once we realize, then we know that we have an answer. We have to wait. We have to find it. Now, in the 40th verse, Krishna begins answering. What he says, O Parth, Parth is another name of Arjuna, a transcendentalist engaged in auspicious activities does not meet with the destruction, either in this world or in the spiritual world. We have to understand this. One who does good, my friend, is never overcome by evil. I am doing good. What it means? I am a seeker. What the seeker has understood, as such there is no evil. As such there is no hell and heaven. As such there is no unfavorable conditions. They are helping me to evolve, progress on the path. What you are talking about? I am talking about the real self beyond the body and the mind. I have already talked to you that real self is all pervading. It does not change. It will not change. It did not change in the past. It is not changing now. It is not going to change. So Krishna is saying softly, but if I translate his message, how dare you say that you will meet with the destruction in this world and in the spiritual world? You are searching and seeking that entity which cannot be destroyed, which cannot be changed, which is of an epitome of the peace and happiness. That is the first answer Krishna gives. And he explains that answer further. So, what he says, what does destruction refer to in this context? It refers to the complete loss of spiritual progress. No. Did you practice meditation? Yes, I practiced meditation. Did you experience the peace and calm yesterday by after the practice? Yes. Today, yes. Last week, yes. How can you say destruction? You are progressing. You have a desire to progress to the ultimate, means you want to take one step where it is taking 1,000 steps. Not possible. Your mind is crazy. That's why you feel you have a sense of failure. There is no failure as such. I'm just explaining in a different way so that now Krishna, oh Krishna. Ah, yes. So, 40th verse, you say part, okay. 41st, 41st, 41st verse, yeah. After dwelling for countless years in the realms of righteous, the unsuccessful seeker is born into a family of pure and prosperous people. Now, this is, we are going to solve this statement, understand it from the 7th to the another 6 chapters. But here I just give you an idea of what the seeker is saying, and from there I have started the journey. What journey? Orange tree gives you the orange fruit, it does not give you the mango fruit. This is the answer. That is why I started with that. What master says, okay, you are not successful in this life, so you die. You die means that you claim that you die, your body and the mind is left. You will be born in a family with the outer conditions highly conducive to your spiritual progress. From the very birth, you are into that environment, into with those parents, into that society where you will continue your journey and finish your journey. This is what the master means. And that is why I explained you meditate before you sleep, you wake up in meditation. Do you see? I just gave you the reference point, and that master is explaining. No worries. You already got rid of these unfavorable. You understand that as long as the doer is there, there is a problem of hell and heaven and unfavorable circumstances and a sinner, etc. You are already doing karma yoga. You have progressed a lot. You are experiencing peace and calm. So no worries. Even if you leave this body, you will be born in such a family. I just explained by metaphor in the very life. Forget about the next birth. You are relaxed. I gave you a deeper meditation for 2 hours before falling into sleep. Definitely you will wake up with a calmness and peace. That is one metaphor. I explained it. Say verse number 42. Or he takes birth in a family of great masters who are surely great in their wisdom. Verily, such a birth is rare in this world. Master says, in this very life, continue your effort to find the real self. Possibly you may reach to a point where you leave the body. The next birth is going, you are going to be a monk and a great master because you are born in such a family. Now there is another issue. Who knows that I'm born in such a family? How do you rate Buddha? Buddha was born as a prince, and circumstances revolved around his life made him realize at such a young age that the entire world is suffering. I have to find out the truth. So it is not the riches he had, it is the richness. It is being born as a prince. He need not to worry about the basic need so that he have enough time to think. It is not that he did not he because he did not own any wealth even after realization. So it is not the owning the wealth, it is the condition conducive for my spiritual growth. In the Upanishad teachings, Master Yajnavalkya is there, and we have his two wives, Maitreyi is one wife, and Gargi is then, well, no, not Gargi. Maitreyi, and I remember, then I'll tell you. So two wives are there. So now, because he was a chief minister in the kingdom, and he used to have lot of wealth, but he said, can this happiness be permanent? So he was continuing his journey. So he called both his wives. He said, here is a 50-50. No discrimination. 50% of wealth goes to you, first wife, 50% of the wealth goes to the second wife. Maitreyi and Katyayani. So Katyayani was very happy. Normal people, when we divorce and suppose if you have two wives and first wife you say, okay, I have 10 million, but I'm ready to spare you a million, so you are happy with, because you are engrossed in pleasure seeking through the wealth, so you leave. So Katyayani was saying that, oh, very good. Maitreyi said, what the heck, what you're doing? Now I'm going to forest for contemplation and reflection. But why? You have all the pleasures and happiness here with all of us. No, but I want a continuity of that happiness. Can it be discovered? That's why I have left everything. I will follow you. One wife says, I will follow you. The other wife says, no, I will not follow you. So here the two wives are the two different states of the mind. One mind wants to be the master, other mind wants to be the faithful servant of that knowledge. Maitreyi was that. Maitreyi followed it. So he said, no, you cannot disturb me. He said, no, I will. She said, I will cook the food, and after all, you have basic necessities. So I will just observe you, and that's all. They both did. And then a beautiful book has come out in the Upanishad. Many of the verses are taken by the Krishna from that Upanishad. I will remind you.
Mhm.
So takes the birth, so he masters, and then we have 43rd verse. On taking such a birth, now he says, you have taken the birth. Seeker revives your consciousness from the previous life. That is why I explained. Orange tree gives the orange fruit. Mango tree gives the mango fruit. So you need not to worry about it. You have all those past impressions now. Good impressions are there. You are no longer a doer. You are living your life in calmness and peace. You will start your journey recognizing consciously that you are living in peace and happiness. I have to find it. I have to reach to the ultimate in this birth. Same thing. I gave you a very simple example. Don't believe in the birth and rebirth. Need not to worry. I sleep in meditation, I will wake up in meditation. Remember only this thing. Worry about this life. That is why I started those metaphors to summarize you. On taking such a birth, my dear friend, you revive the same state of your consciousness of your previous life, and you will you will continue the journey until you find another teacher. So you need not to worry about it. You are happy. So you have spent, say for example, you became a seeker at the age of 40. So 39 years of your life went into stress, anxiety, duality, and a conflict. This life, you started the life of a seeker at the age of 40. But in the next life, you will start the life from the very birth. He is dispelling all the doubts. But ultimately, he is focusing on the current life. You have to remember this. And the 44th verse, we will complete this. By virtue of that state of the consciousness of your previous life, you as a seeker automatically becomes attracted to the Eastern wisdom, attracted to these principles. In spite of, that is what metaphor I gave. So Suddhodana. Suddhodana is the father of Buddha. Suddhodana created Las Vegas in his kingdom. I told you. All kinds of pleasure. Why? Because he did not want the Buddha to become a monk. So your past impressions is not going anywhere. So he was born with that evolution, evolved state of the consciousness. This is what the master is saying. By virtue of that consciousness of your previous life, you will automatically be attracted to those people, that environment. 16 years, can you think of Buddha lived in all kinds of luxuries? And after 16 years, he got married, he had a kid, and he said goodbye to the kid and the wife. He went to the master, whose name is a very beautiful name. I forgot his name. So, and that master was a tantra master. He said, no, you have to sleep on the floor. Yes, I will do it. I am automatically attracted to the spiritual journey. You did not even think 16 years, I lived in such a pleasure and I will not do it. That is what Krishna is talking about. That your life as a seeker becomes so overwhelming that you are ready to cross all the challenges of your life. Even without seeking, even without thinking that, what will happen to me if I sleep on the floor. I've been sleeping on the, sleep number one in America. Sleep number one, no way. Now I was sleeping with my wife, but there is no wife, I have to sleep on the floor. Yes. Without even thinking means that my mind did not have an opposite thought. So it means there is no struggle. I am a great seeker. Buddha was a great seeker. So don't compare, don't remember him because he left the kingdom. No. It has nothing to do with the riches. It has to do with the inner process of evolution, inner state. Yeah, he said, I'll do it. Finished. Oh, you will get only one meal. Yes, no problem. I'll only take one meal, whatever you give me. Now, Master answers. He has already given he has dispelled the ignorance. Now, in the 45th verse, that is the last in this section, the Master intelligently says, when the seeker engages himself with a sincere effort or in making further progress. So what the Krishna is saying, keep your eye on the progress. Don't start thinking with these doubts. Keep your eye on the progress. Why? Sum of angles of a triangle is 180 degree. It cannot be 170 in your case. It cannot be 190 in your case. It is an absolute truth. So why you allow your mind to continue to fall back, to have a doubt? Remove that doubt. I'm just, explaining in my own way. So the master is saying that when the seeker engages himself with a sincere effort in making further progress, being washed of all the contaminations, your impurities will be gone. Your doubt will be gone. This is what the master is saying. I use the word doubt. Then ultimately achieving perfection through many births, he attains the supreme goal. Now he is combining the both. So even if you could not achieve in this life, you will achieve the ultimate truth in other life. But you will recognize that you are a great seeker. You are a great seeker. Why you worry about it? Why you have a doubt? That you are of the nature of the real self, which is permanent peace, happiness, love, truth, and wisdom. It cannot be objectified. You cannot be the do. It that real self cannot be the doer. You have to contemplate and reflect how intelligently the Krishna answers all our doubts. So, if the mind builds the faith on his answers, we are ready for the next journey. So, uh,
So we want to just keep Saturday for next week.
yes, Saturday we can keep.